And we are live. So it is Sunday night. So guess what that means? It's time for Learning with Lynn. So I am Lynn Huber.
And I'm Richard.
And this is Richard. I want to welcome you out tonight. If you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. So let me move some things around. So let's see. We are going to turn on my screen. There you go. Now you can see my screen. And this is my website, onlinebeautybiz.com. This is where we do all of our training for our team and for any representative who wants training. We're here to support you, no matter who you are. So, hey, Anitra, good to see you. So today, well, first off, before I get to that, this is onlinebeautybiz.com. And at the top, there's a getting started. Don't worry about this menu at the very top. That's my editing to edit my website. But right here, getting started, that's if you're brand new to Avon, that's where you'll want to go, is that getting started. It will walk you through everything, like how do you get paid, how do you get started, where do you find orders on your online store, all of the above, right? It gives you everything you need to know. Hi, Julie, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So you'll want to do that. And then on the right-hand side here, there's a sign up to receive our newsletter. If you're already receiving emails from me, then you're already on it. But if you're not, then you can sign up, and basically you'll get emails from me about upcoming trainings and about Facebook parties that I'm doing or anything like that that you are invited to. And so you want to be sure to get on the list if you want to be part of it. And then right underneath that is a search. And so if you want to know how to do something, you literally can put it in here. You can search for it. Or below that, there's categories. So there's all kinds of stuff like, follow-up, fundraising, leadership, mindset. You can just click on a category and it will walk you through all the posts that I've written about that category. And so if you're on a computer, it's like side by side like this. If you're on your phone, that sidebar on the right-hand side moves to the bottom. So you'll see about 6 or 7 posts here like this. And then at the very bottom will be this thing where you can sign up to receive the newsletter and you can search and you can find the categories. So that is your intro to online beauty biz. And so today we are going to talk about allow limitations to be a thing of the past. Now I could search for that. I could go in here and search. I could type. And it would probably come up. There it is right there, see? So allow limitations to be a thing of the past so you can achieve success. So first off, we got to go to our simple system. This is what we're really pushing. We're really focusing on this because bottom line is there's only 4 things you need to do to be successful in your Avon business. Our business is actually really simple. We make it hard because we make it hard up here, right? You just have to do those 4 things. If you do those 4 things, it's simple, but it's not easy because you have to do those 4 things, and that's up here, and you have to get your brain to do them, right? But there's just 4 simple steps to grow your business. Hi, Erin, good to see you. So number 1, prospect for new customers and recruits. If you're brand new, we suggest you start with building a list of everyone you know, and then you can work through that list. And in the getting started training up here at the top, you'll find that. And so, you work through your list, and when you call the people or text them or Facebook message them or whatever, it's not like you're saying, hey, buy Avon from me. It's more like, hey, I'm so excited. I just started my Avon business. I just want to check with you and see if you'd be interested in receiving a brochure. It's just that simple. If they say no, thank you, then you say no problem. If you're a waitress serving coffee and that you ask if they want coffee and they say no, thank you, you're not going to get your feelings hurt, right? Why should it be any different with your Avon business? Hi, Karen, good to see you. So you're not going to get your feelings hurt. So if they say no, thank you, then you just know, hey, they're still your friend, they're still your cousin or your sister or whoever. Nothing changed. Absolutely nothing changed. They just don't want an Avon book. And that's it. And so as you work through your list, you're going to find the people who do want one. And that's the key to looking for your new customers. Once you work through your whole list, now you need to continue to add to that list, and you need to get out of your comfort zone, and you need to start finding new people that you don't know already. And so all of that falls into number 1, prospecting for new customers and new recruits, right? If you don't have new people to give your Avon brochure to, whether it's a physical brochure or a digital brochure, it doesn't matter. It's just getting your Avon business in front of people. right? And so that's your first step. That's the very first thing you need to do. And then we have 26 campaigns a year, every 2 weeks. And you need to get a brochure to them 26 times a year, every 2 weeks, right? They are on your list now. They want a brochure. Until they tell you to stop giving them to them, you keep giving them to them. And, if it gets to the point where they haven't ordered in a long time and you're giving them a paper brochure and it's getting expensive, then you can make a decision to maybe switch them over to a digital brochure or something. But the point is, step number 2 is you get a brochure to every single person on your list, every single campaign. That's 26 times a year. And then number 3, you follow up with every customer that you gave a brochure to, every campaign, before you place your order. So again, that's 26 times a year, every 2 weeks. You need to do these like clockwork. And then number 4, you take the order, submit it to Avon, deliver it to your customer, and you make money. Or you send them to your Avon online store to place their order. They place their order, Avon ships to them, and you still make money, right? It's just that simple, and it's rinse and repeat. So you prospect, you get a brochure to everybody, you follow up, and you take the order, or you make money however you make it, right? Whether it's online or in person. And you just keep doing that. So we have our Daily 8 system to help you do that, because the whole idea, in order to be successful, what you want is you want to be consistent. And it's up to you how fast you want to grow your business. But instead of working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week in a full-time job, what we're asking you to do is capture 8 points a day, five days a week, for a total of 40 points. It's going to take you a whole lot less time than 8 hours a day. Right? So here it says print this sheet and use it to track your results. So there you go. This is like 9 pages, but you don't need to print them all. You only need the second page. And it says week of, and you put like the first day of the week, whether that's a Sunday or Monday, so today's date or tomorrow's date. And then days of the week, what days are you going to work your business? If you don't want to work on Wednesdays, that's fine. You can work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right? Or if you only have weekends or whatever, you work maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is that you want, are you going to work your business? Put those at the top. And then you're just going to go down and you're going to add up how many points you get. So I'm giving you, this is new, but I'm giving you 1 point for every name you collect if you're prospecting for customers, right? 1 name for every time you get contact information. That means you give them a book. If you don't know them, you give them a book and you ask them for their contact information. If you do know them, if you're working through your list and you made your list of 200 people and you're working through your list, you can have 1 point for everyone you contacted that said, yes, I would like a brochure. Because you already have their contact information, but you did the step. You basically got their contact information in the way of, yes, they want a brochure, so you're adding them to your brochure list, right? Same thing with team members. If you collect contact information, 1 point for every name who might be interested in selling Avon, then you're going to follow up just 2 to 3 days later. This is not our every campaign follow-up. This is we just met you. I just gave you a book follow-up. 2 to 3 days later, just a quick text or message or whatever saying, hey, I met you at Walmart, a couple of days ago, just checking to see if there's anything I could get for you. And that's it. And then you put them on your regular follow-up. So now every campaign they get a follow-up, right? And now you're going to get a brochure to every customer, follow-up text to every customer, place your order at Avon. I'm only giving you 1 point for those because our system, if you use our system sets you up to, it only takes you like 2 minutes to do it, to send a text out to every single person on your list, or 2 minutes to send brochures, to mail brochures to every single person on your list. If you're doing it without the system and you're doing it manually, you can give yourself a couple of points. If you spend an hour doing it, maybe give yourself 4 points or 5 points, right? Because you spend an hour physically doing it. If you're texting them individually, maybe you could give yourself a point for every, it's up to you, you guys. This is your business. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. Maybe give yourself a point for every 5 people you text or every 10 people you text or whatever. Figure out something for you, what's going to qualify you for that point. And then I have, sort and deliver your orders. Passive prospecting is putting brochures out door to door without getting names. So you just get 1 point for that because you're doing something that's going to help your business, but you're not getting names. So it's passive rather than active, if that makes sense. And posting on social media, scheduling posts, you still get points for those things. But I want you to spend the bulk of your time getting new customers and getting brochures to new people. And then we have all kinds of, there's other things down here, business training, personal development. Those are all worth points too, because those are important for your business, but they're not income producing activities. So that's why they're at the bottom, because you want to focus on income activities. You want to focus on the things that are going to bring you money. They're going to make you money. And so that's it. That's the daily 8. Anitra says, I need to get back to this. School stuff with my girls has been insane. Yeah, Anitra, you need to get back to it. Of course, it's up to you, right? It's your business. But yes, it will do you. I mean, if it's systemized, if you have it systemized, if you're using the system, I promise you, you'll still have all the time to do what you have to do for your daughters. So that's your decision, though. You have to decide. Okay, so here you can download that daily 8 plan. If you click here, you can log your weekly numbers. It's just a Google form that you can fill out, and that comes to me, and it just says your name and your name and what campaign we're in and how many points did you receive, did you earn this week, and what were your wins, what did you accomplish well, and what did you not do so well, and how can you do better next time. All of this is just to help me to be able to support you, because whether you're on my team or not, I'm supporting you in this. And whether you're on my team or not, the truth is I can't see what you're doing. And so this is just letting me know what you're doing. I mean, yeah, I can see in my reports if you placed an order and how big your order was, but I can't see whether you did activities to grow your business, right? So this is, whether you're on our team or not, we're here to recognize you, we're here to support you, and that's all this form is. It's never going to be used to yell at you or say you did something wrong. In fact, if you take the time to tell me what you did not so well and how can you do better next time, there's a little secret to that. It's not me knowing what you didn't do well. It's the fact that you took the time to fill that in, so now you know. And so next time you'll do better. When you know better, you do better, right? So that's the form. And then, but be sure to be a member of our online beauty biz group. I know all of you that are at least commenting right now are in there, but make sure you're in our online beauty biz Facebook group, because that's where we do recognition. That's where we're going to recognize you. That's where we're going to, give shout outs to you, whatever, for achieving this. So today we're going to talk about getting past your limitations. So as you're working your business, you're likely going to run into limitations, right? I mean, all of us have things that we're scared of. We have things that hold us back, or maybe there's things that get in the way of us getting what we want. The limitations could be in our mind. It could be money. It could be skills. There's all kinds of things that could hold us back. And so, it can be frustrating. Of course it can. It can be frustrating. But what I don't want you to do is say, oh, I can't do it because whatever, right? I can't do it because, or I can't do it because, I'm sorry to pick on you, Anitra, but because my kids' school stuff has been insane, right? That's a limitation that you're dealing with. And so it's perfect time for you to be on this training, right? So
here's the secret words right here. These are workarounds. Always successful people come up with workarounds.
Yeah, we always find ways,
yep.
No matter what. We've talked about this before, but my mother died about a year ago, and before she died, for probably a year, she was in and out of hospitals, and I was there with her at every doctor appointment, at every hospital. I stayed with her in the hospital, and but we didn't let that stop our business. Our business continued to thrive. In fact, another time, Richard and I went on a cruise for 2 weeks. We were on a 2-week cruise. So we were gone an entire campaign. And you know what? None of our customers even figured out we were gone, because our business didn't change. And that we have used our automated systems to do everything. And maybe before I go there, if you, I know most of you are here, but I also have some new people that I know we're going to be on today, and they might not have commented. So if you want to know how to do the automated system, go to the search and type in automate. And the one we're looking for is this one, automate your follow-ups to give yourself more time to build your business. This talks about how we mail brochures, how we do text messages to our customers, and it's automated in a group. It's not a group text. It's not a group text that goes out to 20 people and they're all responding and they're all getting them. They're individual texts, but it's using a service that allows it to go out in a blast as one text going out to every person individually. And then we leave voice messages for people who we don't have cell phones for. They're just landlines, the older ladies that are our customers. and all of that. I teach you how to do all of that in here. So that's here, how to automate your follow-ups to give yourself more time to build your business. So for those of you that didn't know what I was talking about, I wanted to get there. Okay, so let's talk about limitations. Okay, so maybe your limitation is money. Okay, so for example, maybe you need a particular program to do some of your work, but it costs too much to purchase. And so you might think you're stuck, right? But there's ways around that. I mean, there's often free versions or there's free alternatives that you can use if you don't have the money to afford the version you want. And, you know, the free version might not be as good as the paid version, but it will still get you going. And once you build your business up to a certain level, maybe you can afford it, right? So, for example, if you're looking into creating social images for social media, Photoshop can be a bit pricey. It's very expensive. But there's free alternatives that are available that can do many of the same things. In fact, there's two limitations with Photoshop. One is the price. I use Photoshop extensively, but one is the price. It's very expensive. The other is a learning curve. It takes a lot to learn how to use Photoshop. So there you go. But there's all kinds of others. There's free alternatives. There's even other programs that you can buy. Anitra says, pick away. I was also going to say I could use my vision loss as a way not to do my business stuff.
Touche.
Oh, you probably didn't see that, did you? I stuck my tongue out at you, Anitra. For everybody else, Anitra's blind, so I stuck my tongue out at you. Hey, so anyway, so there's actually some things that are better for you anyway, right? So I use Canva to create most of my, I use Canva for most of my images that I use for social media, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram. I use it. I use it a lot. I have the paid version. I pay, I think it's $100 a year or something like that for the paid version. But for me, it is so worth it because that paid version comes with millions of images that I can use, that I don't have to buy or buy rights to. They're free for me to use, and I love that. And so you can do a lot with the free version, and that might be all you need to create the images you want. But for me, the paid version is pretty inexpensive. If you click on this link, it will take you to Canva. Now, it's going to take me to Canva because I already have an account. It's going to take you, if you don't already have an account, it will take you to a place where you can sign up. And just so you know, if you get the paid version, I'll get a little bit of commission on it. It's not much, but it just, you know, it's just an affiliate commission. The free version, though, like I said, if you're just getting started, go with the free version, right? So these are like literally all of the things that I have created in Canva. I mean, I do all of my Facebook parties in there. Some of you might recognize some of this. I do my Facebook parties in here. I create, this is a video I made. I do all kinds of stuff in here. And so, and you can, there's templates. You literally can search for what kind of thing you want to do. There's templates for Instagram story, Instagram posts, Facebook posts. You can even do like posters and flyers, all kinds of things in here. So Canva is pretty amazing. So this isn't a class where I'm teaching you how to do Canva, but you can click on here if you haven't already tried it, and either link, it doesn't matter, and just sign up for the free version if you don't already have it. Okay, I'm not here to make money off of you, so I mean, you don't have to have the paid version unless you decide that it's something you want, right? Maybe your limitation is time, right? So maybe when it comes to time, you have to start cutting out things in your life. Maybe you have to decide, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? And you only have so much time in a day. And so sometimes maybe you need to make a decision about what's more important, right? So you might have to cut things out, right? So you need to look at your own schedule and how you allocate your time. And you might be spending a lot of free time watching TV or doing other activities, and you might have to temporarily cut those out if you're looking to really build a business, you know? Again, on our simple system that we do, the daily 8, where you're getting 8 points a day, it's not like you need a lot of time to do that. And in fact, that 8 points a day, 40 points a week is what I'm saying is what you should be working for to grow a business that's going to make you money, right? If you're just looking for a hobby or you're just looking for a little bit of extra money, you decide. Maybe you only want to do 4 points a day. 5 days a week, or maybe you want to do 8 points a day, 3 days a week, whatever. You decide what you're going to do with it and how much time you're going to spend. But at the same time, you might have to give up some things temporarily. You might have to give up TV or other activities, It doesn't mean you're never going to be able to do them again. It just means that if you're working on growing your business, you might need to cut those out just to get you started. You might even have to lose some sleep, right? When Richard and I started, and once we decided we were going to get serious about our Avon business, we were both working 60 to 70 hours a week, and I was commuting 3 hours a day. I was driving, so I couldn't even do anything while I was driving except listen to audios. I couldn't because I was driving. And so there's nothing I could do. And so I would be up by 5, leave the house by 6:15 or so to get to work by 8. And then I would work until 7 or 8 or 9 at night. And then I have an hour and a half drive home. And, sometimes we would schedule appointments. We would try to schedule. Back then, we had to do face-to-face appointments. We had to sign people up. We had to meet them and sign them up. So I would schedule them at like a McDonald's or a Carl's Jr., where hopefully I could try to get 2 or 3 people at once and, make my time as efficient as possible. But then I would get home, and then I would have to process that appointment, and then I would have to do my follow-ups. I'd have to do whatever I had to do. And most of those days, I wasn't getting to bed until 1 or 2 in the morning, and I had to be up at 5. And then I started noticing that that I was starting to fall asleep when I was driving to work, and that scared the heck out of me. I have an hour and a half commute along the side of the ocean, and there was a cliff on one side, and that scared me half to death. And so then I started forcing myself to take a lunch break at work, and I'd go in my car and I'd set my alarm on my phone and I'd sleep for an hour. So you have to do what you have to do, right? So if your limitation is fine, again, like Richard said, you find a way to work around it. And I didn't have to do that forever. In fact, little over 2 years after I started doing this, I was able to quit my job. So I didn't have to do that anymore. So that's the power of it. You have to decide what it is that you want, right? So, and then be sure to implement systems. So here you go. Here's a link to my systems right here. So automate your follow-ups, okay? So that's in there in this time section. So, you don't need large blocks of time. That's the other thing, if you're a mom, if you're a soccer mom, or your daughter's in dance or ballet or whatever, there's going to be times when you're sitting in your car waiting for your kid to come out of practice or waiting for the recital to start or whatever. And you can use that 15 or 10 minutes to text some people or call some people or do whatever it is you have to do, schedule some social media posts. If you plan it ahead of time, you can use little blocks of time to do those things throughout your day, because those are kind of wasted time anyway. You're sitting there waiting, right? And so also make sure you block out time in your calendar. Know when you're going to work your business. That's why on this form, when you first start, I ask you, when are you going to work? What days are you going to work? You need to fill this out at the beginning of the week. So today is, it's the week of December 20th. So I would put the 21, 22, 23, 24, and then 25 is Christmas. And so this is Christmas, so you might not work all those days, but let's pretend it's not Christmas, right? So it would be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, whatever. And then it's there. You're going to keep this form on your desk or on your wall or on your, if you have a board, a pin board, whatever, and look at it all the time and be filling it in as you go, right? Okay, I went out, I went prospecting, I went to Target, I met 3 people, I got their contact information, I come home, I put them in my follow-up system, and I write 3 in my points. You need to keep on top of it and have it going. Hi, Tracy, good to see you. So
I like to call it the think method. We use a calendar. We use one calendar for both of us. We put everything in it, personal, business, everything. So nothing can get lost on the calendar. But the trick is, like I said, I use the think method. For me, I think Lynn kind of does the same thing. But tonight, I'll look at Monday. I'll look at the calendar for Monday and see what's on there. I mean, I already have it kind of in the back of my head because I know what we're going to be planning on doing. But I look at it and I see, okay, this is how my day is going to go tomorrow. And I kind of put things in a logical order on what's on the calendar, and boom, it just seems to happen. Mm-hmm. You're kind of using the think method. You look at it the night before, you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, and you're ready to go. You're most of the time you're kind of antsy to wake up in the morning, get going.
Yeah. Actually, I agree with that 100%. I think looking at your calendar should be the last thing you do at the end of the day, is figure out, okay, tomorrow I got to do this, this, and this. And if you use, some of my things I use Microsoft To Do, which is my task list. There's others. There's Gmail has one. There's others. And if you have a task list that's on your computer, on your phone, you can check things off. But that way you always know what you need to do, right? So between your calendar and your task list, that can really help you stay on top of it. Tracy says, I can print now. I got my new PC up and running. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you can print this out. You only need to print the one page, even though it's 9 pages, because the rest of it is just training, gives you ideas on how to earn those points, right? So block out your calendar. This is a business. This isn't a hobby. You can work this business full-time. You can work it part-time, but you can't work it sometimes. If you work it sometimes, you will have no business. You will have customers that will be pissed, that will be like, I can't depend on her. You just can't run a business that way. So what you need is office hours, whatever that is, right? So your customers know that, hey, you're only working at part-time, but you work a couple hours a day, or you work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever that is. Have time that you work and put it in your calendar so you know too, so that you won't let the time, if it's not in your calendar, it's not going to happen. We all have different amounts of time to spend on our business, but it's just not going to happen unless it's blocked out. And then what Richard says, we put everything on one calendar. We share a calendar. It has his stuff, my stuff, business stuff, everything on one calendar. And that way it's easy to see what's going on. If I have a nail appointment, Richard can see it, that I have a nail appointment. He knows that he doesn't want to schedule something around there that's going to involve me, right? And it just makes it really easy. You don't double book. You're all on the same page. And if you have 10 kids, it doesn't matter. You can color code your calendar. You can, like, we put RH for Richard Huber and LH for Lynn Huber, so it'd be LH nails, right? So that I know I have a nail appointment. But if you have 10 kids, you could do the same thing, right? You could put their first initial or whatever, and all the things that go along with it. It just makes it really easy to figure out what's happening when it's all on one calendar. If you have a business calendar and a household calendar, you're gonna end up double booking yourself. You're gonna have problems. And so this helps keep you track of your responsibilities and, make sure that you're not overcommitted. And then be ambitious, but also be realistic,
Yeah.
We want you to push, but we don't want you to schedule yourself to the point where it's impossible or it's too much or you burn yourself out. That doesn't help anything. Right? So, and keep in mind those 15 minutes that you can do, you can make a couple of calls, you could text people, right? So then maybe your limitation is skill set. Could that be what's holding you back? Maybe you encounter, in fact, you're going to, I'm dealing with that right now. I'm totally revamping my website kind of. And there's a lot of, and I'm changing how I do things. And that's a lot of skill set that's involved with that. And YouTube has become my best friend, right? But if you're in a situation where you're poorly equipped to deal with the task, then don't let that worry you, because none of us are born knowing everything. Anitra says, print the whole thing once for the ideas and chart. Then if your printer is a copier, copy the chart a few times. Oh yeah, exactly. Perfect. Thank you. Or print the whole thing once so you have ideas, and then just print that one page, however many copies you need. Yeah. Okay, so if your limitation is skill set, like I said, none of us are born knowing everything. You're not born knowing how to walk and how to eat and how to tie your shoes. You have to learn, right? We have to learn everything that we do in our life. And there are all kinds of options about how to learn new skills. You could ask somebody who knows, who has experience doing it, that might be able to share some of their knowledge with you. You can take Avon U courses on Avon Now. You can watch Avon in the Avon Representative Social Selling Facebook group. Avon has webinars. They have Facebook Lives. They have all kinds of things to help you become an expert on all of the products and how to sell them. You're going to find a lot of training on our blog, on Online Beauty Biz. We have our Sunday Lives, and in our Facebook group. You can also find free or paid online courses that you can learn from. Richard and I paid. We didn't have any help at all, and we didn't know anybody in Avon, and so we paid coaches to teach us the ropes. We paid We went to seminars and we paid a lot of, I mean, $1,500 a person to go to some of these things to learn. And, but there are tons of free and paid courses. So then it's up to you, right? But I would for sure work through the free ones that you can. And, you know, I mean, Avon has so much to offer now they didn't have back then when we were learning.
And we have online beauty biz. You can get a lot of your free training right here.
Yeah. So whatever training you find, be sure to take the time to properly learn it, right? Many people will watch an online course and quickly apply the skills they learned only to promptly forget about it. Or they'll take the time to watch the course, watch the videos, learn the information, and never put it into action. And knowledge without action is never going to help you. You know, action is going to help you become good at what you just learned. You have to start off as not being good. You have to start off as being horrible at it. When you learn something and you go, okay, now I'll try it. Oh, that didn't work. You go back to the learning. Oh, I missed that part. Okay, you try it. That didn't work. You go back to the learning, you try it, you're getting better and better at it, and you become an expert at it, right? But if you're just learning and you're not putting it into action, you're never going to do anything with it. You're never going to be successful. So knowledge doesn't do you any good if it's in your head. It has to be something you're using.
Also, just to say real quick, a lot of this stuff where you're learning, you're trying to do all the learning part of it. You don't want to do this during prime business hours, or even like, let's say you eat dinner with your family every night at 5 o'clock. You don't want to plan your training for 5 o'clock because you're not gonna ever do it because you're gonna be having dinner with your family. You want to plan these like early in the morning, maybe the first thing you get up, or maybe the last thing at night before you go to bed, or you have times during the day when you see you have down times in your business or times when you can't really go out recruiting or something, and you want to do them then. Like I say, you want to work smart so that, but you want to get the training in the right times.
Yeah. So if you happen to get up early before your kids are up, those are a good time to do it. Yeah. Or if your kids are napping and you have to be home, that's a good time to do it. If you can't like be making phone calls or whatever because you don't want to wake your child up, you know, those are the times for you to be doing trainings, and or in the evenings. Richard's absolutely right, because you want to do your income producing activities during the prime time of the day, right? And so, but the thing is, you know, you've got this. So despite the bumps and the bruises that you're going to encounter throughout your Avon journey, that you have to adhere to at least one requirement. You must be willing to take the journey and commit to learning along the way. The more you learn, the better you will get at it. The better you get at it, the more money you will make. The more money you make, the more freedom you have, right? So as you progress through that journey of achieving your dreams, you're going to be able to clearly realize that the most difficult limitations and circumstances actually are really just tools that help you to become a better version of yourself. The more you struggle, the more you learn. And so, you know, take it in stride. Say, yeah, I don't understand how to do this. Yeah, I have to learn it. I've been up the last week, I think 2 weeks, up really late doing YouTube videos trying to learn how to do things. And that's just how I do it. You do that when you need to do it, right? But when you struggle with something and you figure it out, you've learned it better than you could ever learn it any other way. And you're going to be better at it. You're going to be way more successful because look at what you've become in the process, right? So ultimately, you want to be able to confidently proclaim that no limitation or obstacle will define you or deter you from your path to achieving greatness. If you can remove your self-doubt and believe in yourself, you can achieve what you never thought possible. And I can't wait to see where your business takes you. So that's what I have for you today. That's all I have. Let's go back to us. There we go. Go back to us. And let's see, is there any questions? Do you have anything you want to say, Richard?
Yeah, early on, we were talking about, you know, starting a business. Some of the best, probably the number one thing you're going to do to get your business started is talking to people. And I know I struggled with it because it was all new to me, and Lynn may have struggled as well. But have the word no become your friend. I found in the beginning, we didn't have any customers, didn't have anything. And so I was just so happy when I got a yes from somebody that really the yes from them meant it was maybe, well, I don't want to offend him. I'll just say yes and drag him on. And so in the beginning, I talked to 50 people and I got 40 maybes. Oh, well, I don't want to offend them, but I'm going to say yes to it. And 10 people that were really excited to get Avon. So we had 50 people that we're calling, texting, delivering books to, and only 10 of them were interested. So we were wasting a lot of time and money. I would have much rather, I found out later, I would much rather talk to 50 people, get 40 people to say, no, I don't want anything to do with this. And I say, perfect, yes. And 10 people said yes. So I have less time and less money to spend on getting 10 customers that really love the business or really, really love the product. And I can go out and find 10 more that really love the business or really love the product.
That's so profound. That is so, it is so true too.
Yeah.
I would much rather have a no than someone who drags me along. And like Richard said, a lot of times people will take the book. They'll say, yeah, they'll take the book. They'll even give you their contact information just because they don't want to hurt your feelings. But they're not interested, right? And they won't ever buy from you, and you're just wasting your time. And it's just really powerful to get that no so that you go, okay, I don't have to waste my time with you, right? I mean, it's not quite that black and white, but you know what I'm saying? It's you're building a business. You don't need to spend all of your time on these people who aren't interested. And it's the same thing with your family and friends. If they're not interested, that's cool. Let them be your friend. You can be friends. It doesn't have to get in the way of your business. And if they are interested in getting a book, that's awesome too.
Can you imagine, like Lynn told the story in the beginning about the waitress that's going around pouring coffee in a restaurant. Can you imagine going around and there's 50 people in the restaurant and 40 of them tell you no, but you stand there at the table and you start arguing with them. Oh, you got to take some. You got to take that. I can't go back with a full pot. I have to pour this coffee out. You got to take some. You got to take some. You see how silly it is at that point, but it's true. It's just simply, it's not about you. It's just simply they're interested or they're not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, Anitra says she's up late reading and playing with ideas.
Yeah, good.
Awesome. And Chris says, catch you on YouTube.
All right.
Awesome. And I think that's all we have, you guys. So I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, if that's what you're celebrating. Whatever you're celebrating, I hope you have an amazing holiday. And we will be dark next week because we're right in the middle of the holidays between Christmas and New Year's. So watch for us to come back after the New Year. So I wish you all the best. We will still see you on Facebook. And for those of you that are following me, I'll still be doing my Facebook Lives 3 days a week. But anyway, I really appreciate every single one of you. And thank you for being on this journey with us. And let's have an amazing 2020. First off, let's close out this year with a bang, and then let's have an amazing 2021. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. We'll talk soon.